This is the Mey Interceptor, a pistol crossbow with a magazine. It's great for shooting and has a good build quality. The only two issues that I have is that it has no protection against cocking it without a bolt in the magazine to prevent dry firing, and that the spring in the magazine has a bit too little tension, so that the last bolt can move in the chamber after cocking the crossbow. Both issues can lead to damage of the crossbow and firing it without checking it for a correct inserted bolt. However, I want to be better safe than sorry, so I created a mechanism to prevent both issues. My idea was to create an inlay for the magazine similar to existing prototypes. On the one hand, this should block the string so that the crossbow cannot be cocked without a bolt in the magazine, and on the other hand, this should prevent the last bolt from moving, as the inlay takes up some space in the magazine and therefore increases the pressure on the bolt and hold it in the correct position. I did some measurements and rough sketching on paper before switching over to Tinkercad. The main difference to other solutions is that my design should stop the string immediately when trying to cock the crossbow before too much pressure or force can be applied on the inlay. In addition, there should be a second stoppage for fallback case that the first breaks at some point, so I don't have to remove plastic parts from a cocked crossbow. After the first design was done, I sliced it and sent it to my 3D printer. For that I used Orca Slicer, Octoprint and my Snapmaker Artisan. The first prototype looked good, and after some cleaning up I gave it a try. It fitted very tight, so I marked where to shrink the design. Also, there were screw heads in the magazine that I were not aware of, and they blocked the inlay from pushing down. The first stopper was too far in the front, so the string could slip over it. Basically it did what it should do, but there was too much possibility for a malfunction, so I went back to Tinkercad and adapted the design. I just moved this first stopper in the back, added more clearance and printed it again. The second version fitted much better than the first one and easily passed the screws when pressed down either with the fingers or when loaded with bolts. Also, the stopper in the front did its job and blocked the string immediately when trying to cock the interceptor. On the desk everything was fine, but I wanted to try it with some real shooting. For testing I used the camera mount of my action cam with a Picatinny adapter to film the crossbow and the inlay in use. First, without blocking mechanism. And this, do you see where the arrow is? This is the problem I have sometimes. It's always the last arrow. Just load the mag again and repeat, and we will have an arrow cocked inside. Now we try again if it happens again with the last arrow. This time not. Now let's try the stopper. Just like an arrow, and it's 2 arrows high, so it will, on the cost of having less arrows, it will increase the tension on the arrows so that I don't get the malfunction in the magazine. Again. And let's try. the arrow is in the correct position. And now I can't load I can't cock the crossbow anymore. So before I can put too much pressure on it, it stops the arrow. And the second part on the back side is the safety. If this breaks, there's a second one. So yeah, works fine. I am really happy with the solution and had no malfunction or issues up to date. I will link the STL file in the description for you to download. As I regularly get questions about sending the printed designs I make, I decided to create an Etsy shop. This is much easier to process than a social media conversation. So if you don't own a 3D printer, feel free to visit it. As always, stay safe and have fun.